Hello, are you interested in creating your full KDP book completely for free? Now, if you don't know what KDP is, it is Kindle Direct Publishing. It is owned by Amazon, but it allows you to make your book completely free so long as you know what to do. And in this video, I'm going to give you everything that you pretty much need to know and a lot of resources to help you. So if you're completely new to bookmaking, this is a good video for you. But also, if you want to know the right programs to format and do all the fancy stuff that you're going to end up having to do, then this is also a very good video for you. So we're only going to use 3 completely free programs to make our book. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is go to a search engine and look up OnlyOffice. This is probably the best free Office program as an alternative to Microsoft Office, and it has everything. It's actually even easier to use, and it'll save automatically to the cloud if you set that up. So if you look up OnlyOffice, you get this result. You can click on onlyoffice.com. Okay, and then what you want to do is you'll see there's pricing, there's integrations, products, all this stuff. You have to go to Get OnlyOffice and then go to Get OnlyOffice desktop and mobile apps. And then scroll down and then pick Windows here. If you're running Windows, or if you're not running Windows, choose a different operating system and then select your type of OS. It's likely times 64, so you can click 64 and the download will start. Okay, so once you fully installed OnlyOffice, you want to open up the program and create a new document. That is the blue icon. And when you open a document, this is what it should look like, a brand new page. The first thing you should do is go to File, then go to Advanced Settings, and make sure that you change your unit of measurement to centimeter. This is important just for the margins. I noticed this makes a big difference for the margins, particularly that I use especially. You want to make sure to then click Apply, and then from there, you want to go to Layout. Now, everything here I'm going to go over, margins and page size in particular, which is for formatting, can be customizable. This is how I did my book. It's not how you have to do your book. If you want to look at all the different options and how you can format your book, go to kdp.amazon.com. They have a bunch of tutorials. They may use those tutorials for Microsoft Office, but they also work for this program. So next, what we should do, if you're going to do this like I did, is go to 1.78, 1.78, 1.78, 1.78, all the way around as the margins for your book, and then make sure to click Mirror Margins. Once you click OK, this is what it should look like, but we're not done. That's just the margins. Next is the page size. So what I use for page size is I went to Custom, and I used a fancy smancy calculation for a 6x9 book, which is about the average size book, but you don't have to use that particular page size for your book. It's up to you. This is what I used. So the centimeters for a 6x9 book would be 15.24 centimeters by 22.86 centimeters. Okay, so that is a custom page size. And then once you have 15.24 centimeters by 22.86 centimeters, you can click OK, and boom, you've got the size of a book, or at least 6x9 book. This is the page size that I use through all my books. You can start writing your book here or importing a previous book into here by just copying the text and then formatting some more. Now, what's really important as well is page numbers. And in my books, I have a very simple way of doing page numbers. I really take the most simple route in doing things. So all you got to do is go to the footer here. You see there's a footer. Okay, so it's really simple. You click on that footer and you go to Insert, and then you go to Header and Footer, Insert Page Number, and then you pick the position. But this is the first page, so that's page 1. Now, if you want fancy smancy where it's certain numbers of certain pages on different pages, then you can look that up online, because OnlyOffice has plenty of resources. They'll even get back to you if you reach them out by email. So that's what's great about OnlyOffice, especially since it's not Microsoft, but it has so many cool resources and it's really simple to use in my opinion. So if I were to create another page after this, it will automatically number to 2. And although it looks grayed out, when you save it, it will not be grayed out, okay? So you can also change the font of the number as well and mess with that. I like to typically number my pages after my book is finished, but it does require some formatting changes because it can add an extra space to your book. Not that bad of a space, but a little bit, okay? Because the footer does take up some space. Now, once you're done with your book, you want to make sure to go to File and then Save As. And you want to save it as a PDF-A. Okay, now I don't know how super important this is, but if you're going to submit a book into KDP, they do want it in PDF-A formats. Now we're going to convert it to that format again after we use this program, but it's just important I do that right now anyways. So you can save it as a PDF-A. I'm going to title this book tutorial. Put it in my tutorial folder. Another important thing to note is that if you're using this program to create your book, be sure to save it as a docx originally. And then that way you have an editable version of your book. Because if you save it only as a PDF after doing edits in this program, then you cannot go back and edit the document because it'll be as a PDF. You'd have to use a PDF editor in fancy smancy tools. Whereas if you save it as a docx the way it is, as a document, you can edit it. And then you save a separate copy as a PDF, which is the final version of your book. So in case you don't know what I'm talking about, here would be my final version of the book. This is the PDF. It shows as an HTML document because I used my browser to open up PDFs. But this is a PDF, okay? And this is a docx. So I have them saved as both because the docx I can edit and the PDF I can't. The PDF is what we're going to use to convert it into the final format in the next program. But the docx is what allows us to edit the very book itself. So it's very important that you have the original docx that you can always edit, always go back on, to then convert it again to a PDF and then convert it again using the next tool. The next tool will allow us to do the final conversion formatting so we can submit it into KDP. The next tool we need is from Libreoffice. Okay, now this Office program is another alternative to Microsoft Office, but they have a very unique program called Libreoffice Draw within Libreoffice, which is what we'll need. So you want to go to libreoffice.org. It's L-I-B-R-E office.org. Then you want to go to the download section, the download tab up here, and go to download LibreOffice. From here, you can choose which version you want. I don't think this really matters, but you should typically choose the newest release. This one says the version is slightly older and does not have the latest features, but it has been tested for longer, so you might want to go with the slightly older version. And then make sure to click your operating system and hit download. Once you install LibreOffice, you want to open Libreoffice Draw, and this is what it looks like. Libreoffice Draw looks like a drawing program, but it does more than just that. If we go to File and open up the PDF that we created from only Office, it will actually allow us to edit many parts of it. Here you can see our book, page 1 and page 2, right? I don't have anything on my book since it's just for a tutorial, but just showing you how to do this. Now, there's certain settings you want to do. You want to go to File, and then you want to go to Properties. And then you want to make sure that you check this, Embed Fonts in the document. Okay? You can look over the other tabs and see if there's anything else you need, but likely you only need this, Embed Fonts in the document. I'm making your life easier right now. You don't have to look at KDP's tutorials and all the confusing requirements for what you need to submit into KDP. All you got to do is check this and click OK. You want to go to File and then Export as PDF. So File, Export as, and Export as PDF. Once you do that, this box will open. And you want to make sure that you have these settings on your document. So reduce image resolution to 300 dpi, okay, lossless compression, archive PDF-A, okay, with PDF-A 1B. This is what Kdp recommends. All right, so make sure you have all these same settings on your end. Okay, and then as you go over to the other tabs, you'll see if there's anything else you want here. I don't think you should mess with anything here in particular. Okay, all we need was what I just showed you here and that little change on the properties to embed the font. So once you've done that, you can export your PDF, and that's the final version of your book. I'm going to save that as book tutorial final. So you can see in my tutorial folder, I only have these 3 files. I have the original docx that I can edit at any time in case I want to make changes to my book. I have the PDF from that, which I saved from OnlyOffice, and then I have the final version. Now you may be asking, why didn't I save a version of the Libreoffice Draw PDF? Well, it's because there's no point. I don't have to do any edits in that program, since all the edits I should do should be in OnlyOffice. If you try doing edits in Libreoffice Draw, the issue is that it does not format correctly. The formatting is different, so although you can make some small like spelling fixes, you cannot fix the type of structuring in the formatting because it's a PDF, it's not supposed to be edited. The next thing you want to do is look up Kdp Cover Calculator. And the first result you should get is kdp.amazon.com/cover calculator. That's cover-calculator. Okay, so you want to click on that, and this will allow you to make your book cover. So you select what you want. For example, I used paperback, I used black and white, paper type. One of my books I used white, another used cream. It does change the thickness of the book. Cream is slightly thicker. You want to do left to right page direction turn. It is sound confusing, but yes, you want to do left to right if you're in America, which most people are. Most people read books in that direction. Measurement units, you can do inches. And then interior trim size, of course, this is up to you. This is basically your page size. Mine was 6x9. And then you just give the amount of pages. For my test book, obviously it's 2. But I'm just going to give a bigger number for the sake of example. We're going to do 195, like in my second book. And it's going to calculate it, and boom, they give us a blueprint to work with. All you want to do is download this template. So I'm going to click on Download Template. Now it's going to give us a compressed zip folder. Now if you never worked with a zip folder before, that's okay. I'll explain in just a second, but you do want to save this zip file in your folder. I'm going to put it in my tutorial folder. So here you can see the zip file in my tutorial folder. This is for the cover of the book, and that is both sides, the front and the back. Okay, so what you want to do is right click it if you're on Windows 10 and extract all. Now notice I also have another thing here called 7-zip. Now 7-zip is a program you can use on Windows 7, so just look up 7-zip. I think the address is 7zip.org, and you can download 7-zip. It's actually a free file extractor. It also works. I like to use it personally, and just click extract here. Boom, now it's extracted. I'm going to delete the zip file so I can save some room here. Delete the README because I don't need that. And I have 2 versions. They gave me a PDF and a PNG. I actually don't really need the PDF, so I'm going to get rid of that one. And boom, we just have the image. We're going to need this image for the next program that we're going to use, our third program to create our book completely for free. What you want to do is look up Photoscape X. This is a free photo editor, and it has a lot of cool tools. I actually use it for all my thumbnails on YouTube. It makes everything look very professional, very fast, very easy. So just click on x.photoscape.org. and you can download it for Windows 10 and Mac. Once you open Photoscape X, it should look something like this. If not, it's whatever. Just go to the Editor tab. So you want to go to the Editor tab and make sure to click Open. Once you click Open, you want to look for that image that we just downloaded. And you can either double click it or just hit Open. And boom, we got our book cover. Now, it explains what each part of this cover means, but basically, you want to make sure that you stay within the black line. You want to reach your artwork to the black line here, and the middle should also go up to the blue line, okay? So that's it. Just follow the instructions that are on here, and if you want, you can measure specific things. So you should make all your artwork here if you can. If not, use something like Google Slides to operate a 6x9 front cover and back cover, and then insert them as images into this image. You can do that, and then you can actually insert this image again, this whole template, over it and reduce its opacity so you can see exactly where you're lined up. You can do this a number of different ways, but ultimately this I have to leave to you because there's different ways you can make your artwork. Personally, I just use this program for my art. You know, you can actually add your own fonts if you want. I'll actually link a website in the description where you can download different fonts, and then you could use that by adding text into the program and make your fancy smancy book covers. Okay, and it's just that simple. I would recommend that when you do your art, you go slightly over the black line here, and make sure that when you're doing the middle, it hits that middle way, but also can like integrate within the front cover. Okay, because there might be some slight printing errors happening time to time, and that's why there's this red line here, like there's this red margin. So you want to make sure that you do have a very nice blendy cover. I'll show you an example of my second book and how it looks as its full cover. So this is my second book, okay, my second book cover, and you can see that I have everything lined up exactly as it would be. I know that the barcode will go right here on the back, so I have everything set up. Notice I can't edit. If I try clicking this stuff, nothing. So that's because this is saved separately as a JPEG. When you work with files in this program, you want to make sure that when you save separately as a project, not just save as, because when you save as, you cannot work on that project again. You cannot edit what's in that project. If you do save project, everything will be editable, so you can go back into it and edit. Now, when you're done with your cover, this is the most important part why we're using this program. So even if you create it in a different program, bring that image over to this program and save it here. So when you go to save, I want you to click on DPI and make sure it's at 600. Okay? This will allow your cover to go in perfectly into their database, and from there you want to save as a JPEG 100% quality. So when you click on Save As here, you want to make sure that it says JPEG here, okay? And you can name this whatever you want, tutorial final cover. If you're doing a hardcover, you use the calculator. Again, it'll give you different dimensions. Notice there's a lot more space on the outside here. This is my actual project. So notice all I did was take the cover of my paperback and put it on here and just expanded the outsides. So a hardcover is going to be different on its cover, but you can actually submit the same PDF text for the hardcover. So you can actually have a hardcover pretty easily. All you got to do is make another cover. That's it. You don't have to edit the format on the actual text of the book. The only thing that you have to edit in the book itself for a hardcover is the ISBN, if you're using a different ISBN like the one that they might provide for you. In this book, because I have a paperback and a hardcover version, both have a different ISBN, but both are free, provided by Amazon. All that's left for you to do is go to kdp.amazon.com and submit both your cover and the book, and just write in all the details and tags, etc. That you can do also upon your own research. They make everything super easy on that website, so you should be able to do all the other steps on your own. I hope you liked this video. If you want to see more tutorials like how I did my Kindle or audiobook, please let me know and I'll be sure to let you know. Thank you very much for watching. This is Corey at the Ninjalot. Nature is the answer.